Morning, everybody, and thanks for joining. My name's Jill McKinney, and I'm Head of Skills of Sunderland Software City. And I have with me Karen Marshall and Israel Shodanide from Accenture. We're going to have a chat with Karen and Israel this morning about life at Accenture, what the opportunities are like, what goes on, what the culture's like, and just generally have a chat about the work that they do. If you've got any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat at the side, and we'll answer those as we go through. The session's booked in for around about half an hour. We'll try and stick to schedule, but Karen likes to chat, so we might have to ring.
The average James.
As usual, the sessions are recorded, so for anybody that's not been able to join this morning, we will make sure that link to the call gets sent out so everybody can watch it in their own time as well. So I'm just going to start off with Karen, and I'm going to ask you just to introduce yourself and a little bit about the job that you do.
So my name is Karen Marshall, and of course originally I'm from Ireland, but I moved over to the Northeast about 20 years ago, and I work at Accenture, and my job is to look after their apprenticeship programme, and we have about 120 apprentices that I look after from Manchester all the way up to Scotland. They're all doing a degree in software engineering, but in Newcastle, if you haven't got the UCAS points to access the degree programme right away, then we can do a level 3 with our apprentices, and then they can progress to the degree. And yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Israel, one for you. So what is it that you do? Do you want to introduce yourself and a little bit about your role?
Yeah, so my name's Israel. I think my official title role is Application Development New Associate, but it's just a fancy term for apprentice. Yeah, currently I'm on the Project Capital, doing testing with karate, also attending Newcastle College, but doing a uni degree with them. And yeah, as of now, it's quite fun.
Perfect. How long have you worked with Accenture, Israel?
Feels like years. But no, since back end of August 26th, so around going for 6 months now, I believe.
Okay, perfect. And are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it feels like years. I'm assuming that because everybody's so friendly and you've just fit in as if you
Yeah,
the team.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
perfect.
just feels like you know everyone already.
Yeah, that's great. Karen, can you just explain to us what the opportunities are for young people within Accenture?
I mean, a lot of people don't know who Accenture are, but we're the world's largest technology solutions company, and we employ over 500,000 people globally, and we have about 14,000 people in the UK. And in those different countries across the world, we have what we call advanced technology centres, which is one hub where lots of people work. And the UK Advanced Technology Centre for Accenture is in Newcastle, so we're very lucky. And because we're such a big company, and because we work for the likes of, Israel's working for Bank of England, we work for lots of other banks and building societies. We do work for Channel 4, we do work for insurance companies, we do work for Marks and Spencers, we do work for the Post Office, the NHS, the government, for HMRC. It's because the range of work and the range of clients that we have is so diverse. There's lots of different opportunities, and some people join and find something they like, and they just keep doing that for a long, long time. And other people just see within their teams and their projects people doing lots of different roles and think, well, I want to do that. So there is the opportunity to change and to do different things if that's what you want to do.
Perfect. And you do within Accenture some kind of introductory programs as well, don't you? So people can come along and kind of explore it a little bit further and just get to grips with what it means to work with Accenture and also within technology centres.
Yeah, we do. We do some work experience, which at the minute it's all virtual because we're all working virtually too. So it does give you a very realistic chance to see what it's like to work at the minute. And we do for schools and colleges, we have a full week And for people who are unemployed or furloughed, we offer them 2 weeks, and it just gives us a chance to really get to know everybody. Our applications for our apprenticeship programme are open at the minute. I think sometimes young people don't understand that big companies like ourselves, we can recruit up to a year in advance, especially for grads. And for our apprentices, we open our recruitment process around about Christmas time, and we close it around about the end of March. So they would be the apprentices that would join us at the end of August.
Perfect. And what kind of skills are you looking for in people that are looking to start a career with yourselves?
Absolutely an interest in tech. That's the most important thing, because the degree you're going to do is a degree in software engineering. We need programmers, we need software engineers. So I think what we really need is for people to clearly demonstrate that they have that interest in technology. And then after that, it is all about, I would say most importantly, communication skills, resilience, that willingness to constantly learn and develop, to be able to take on board constructive criticism, to be able to work under pressure. And normally these are all the things that people gain, not always in school or college, but sometimes with voluntary work that they do, or if they're a young carer, or if they work for a charity, or if they've done some fundraising or a Duke of Edinburgh. Those are all of the skills that we're looking for.
That's great. So quite a range, really, isn't it? So an interest in technology is obviously key. But I guess that just ability to, or the want to learn, and the attitude that you can come along and listen to what people are talking to you about, and have a little bit of resilience as well, I guess. Yeah.
It's vital. It's vital, because the tech industry changes so much and so often, and our customers and clients change, and you could be moving about different businesses and industries. So you might know Java, but the way a bank uses it might be totally different to the way a television company uses it. So it's very important to be resilient and versatile.
Yeah, perfect. Israel, why did you choose to do your apprenticeship with Accenture?
First of all, I think the main reason I joined was actually just the people there. Before signing up for the apprenticeship, I looked at many other apprenticeships like DWP, EE, and many other roles. But one thing that stuck out to me with Accenture is just the people and the environment that they work in. I also have friends and family who work at Accenture and I hear nothing but good things from them. And like since joining, it's only confirmed why initially, like, because you can always read that, oh yeah, this company's great, they have great people, the environment they work in is wonderful, the support they offer, you can always read that, but you can never fully confirm it until you work there. And since starting to work at Accenture, the support I've been given by everyone, the support I get from Karen on a daily basis when I'm in trouble, I think, oh, I can't get this done. It's great as well. The support you get from your colleagues, from other people on the on the apprenticeship scheme as well, is just great. So I think that's one of the main reasons I joined. It's just the people that or the environment that you work in, and the support that you gain. Yeah.
That's really interesting, given that you joined during a pandemic. So presumably you've not actually been into the building, is that right?
Actually, I'm a special case, I'd say. So with the project I'm on, I have been in the building, but I did work from home for the first 2 months. But even then, the support that we were getting daily emails from Karen to a point where when my outlook was just Karen, 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 Karen.
All right.
Yeah, but even then, the support, the comms, everything that we were given was there. It wasn't like we had to go searching for materials that we needed, or we had to go searching for things. Especially when we started uni, it felt like everything was at loss, or we were all a mess. We didn't know what was really going on. But the communication we got from both Accenture side and the college side was just great, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's great. I did start the call by saying Karen loves to chat, so that kind of confirms that. Thanks, Israel. So okay, it's interesting. You started a job in the middle of a pandemic, and the support that's been around you has been wonderful. Karen, how does that work in kind of the real world? So when you're in the office and you've got new recruits coming in, what does that look like for you guys?
So everyone that starts on our apprenticeship program goes through a really intensive 4 to 6 week boot camp. And that's really to help them learn as much of the different programs that we use commonly in Accenture. It helps us spot strengths in the apprentices so that we can tell the scheduling team this person might be best working here or there. And then once the boot camp is over, myself and Keke, who support, our job is primarily to support the apprentices and do that outreach work, those little programs that you were talking about. We're always there for the apprentices. But then in addition, when the apprentices go on to their projects, they have a line manager who's there to absolutely support them. They have their other team members. They normally have a buddy within their team. They get a graduate apprentice buddy, somebody who's been through the apprenticeship program. And they also have an Accenture thing called a career counsellor. And the career counsellor is somebody that's there to help and guide you with everything that you might be interested in, changing your role or doing a certain qualification or just trying to move and progress in different directions. So there's a lot of support. In addition to that, Accenture, we know that our best work that we can do is by having the best people who feel happy and feel content at work. So we go out of our way to make sure we're supporting everybody. So there's opportunities for you to use charity days to go and do some good work for charity. We have a Tech for Good branch where you can do some side of desk work and help local charities with any tech needs that they have. But in addition, we have things like Equality Allies who are there to help people with all different, cultures and gender and neurodiversity. There's everything really. Every single day there's lunch and learns, and sometimes they're of a technical nature, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's relaxation. When we're actually in the office, they have health and well-being weeks. So we'll have masseurs that come in. People can come in and do your nails. You can go and learn about crafts. There's all kinds of things. So we always say that you have to bring your best self to work to do your best work. And that's what we go out of our way to try to do.
Yeah, that sounds great. Can I be invited to the next Wellbeing Day? Because I could definitely do with a massage. Definitely.
I could definitely do. Get my nails painted as well.
I think so. Hopefully, it won't be long.
I was going to say we'll have a big call next week, and I noticed that one of the breakout sessions is with a magician. So I'm guessing that might be communication skills and things like that. So it is really diverse, but really interesting.
It sounds great. Is there such thing as a typical day for an employee within Accenture?
No.
That's real. What do you think?
No,
Definitely
not. For every day I've been on the job so far, I've learned something new, and I can honest to heart, I can say that with confidence. It's from the start of the intensive training camp we had. I felt like I was going in with quite a bit of technical knowledge and Java knowledge, and from what I'd heard about the intensive boot camp, it felt like it was on Java. But even going the knowledge I had, I still gained so much. And since the boot camp to starting my role, it's just kept the abundance of knowledge that have been poured into me. It's just been great. I remember starting my first role with Bank of England and felt like, oh, this is going to be a typical Java role. I've learned everything from my boot camp. And they just switched it. It was like, yeah, you're not using Java. You're using Karate, you're using Gherkin, you're using Cucumber, you're using all these new languages that I've never even really heard of. And it was just great. And every day it would be like, oh, one day you're testing an API, one day you're testing a UI, one day you're speaking to a client, one day you're speaking to your line manager. So I don't think the words typical day comes up in Accenture. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good, isn't it? It mixes it up, keeps you on your toes, I guess. If especially when you're working with clients and they're asking you to do things, because they're obviously bound by time as well. So it's kind of, you've got to learn it. But it's great to hear that you've got the support process around you as well. And if you need something, you can reach out to another member of the team and get that help if you need it. Israel, where do you see your career heading? What's your ultimate goal within Accenture, do you think?
My ultimate goal. It's funny because my CC my CC asked me the same question, and I think if I was to to answer honestly, it'd be maybe leading my own team in the next 5 years or next 10 years even. We had a chance to speak to one of the apprentices, one of the graduate apprentices, and he's someone I not only look up to, but try to talk to whenever I can. He did the apprenticeship scheme, and after graduating from it, I think he's been promoted about 3 times, which is astonishing to me because getting promoted in general is hard enough, but getting promoted 3 times straight after the apprenticeship, being an apprentice as well, is just phenomenal. So in the next few years, I want to hopefully be able to have enough confidence and enough experience to lead my own team. Um, I don't. What I'm finding about working at Accenture, that I don't necessarily mind what capability I'm in. Just like I said beforehand, the knowledge that I gain, I'm just in it for the knowledge, to be honest. So I don't really mind where I'm at as long as I'm able to keep learning. So yeah, if I'm able to become a team lead who's still getting those knowledge, I'd love that.
That sounds great, and I'm sure you will. I'm absolutely sure you will. Karen, what is the process for progression? Is this an opportunity that's given to all? Is it part of an appraisal process? How does it work internally?
So we do have a tool, of course, for a software company. We have a tool, a performance achievement tool, and every body's encouraged to put on actions and priorities, and you work through those with your career counsellor to make sure you can achieve them and overachieve, and you can constantly add new priorities and actions and close older ones off. You can get feedback from people. And then twice a year, we have talent discussions where every single person in the technology centre, and that's 1,000 people, are discussed, because we want to make sure we're helping everyone be the best that they can. And apprentices are given exactly the same opportunities for all of the training and for access to all of the knowledge and learning and all of the good things that we do, the same as any other member of staff. And when they finish their degree, and in Accenture at Newcastle, we have an accelerated 2-year degree. So when our apprentices finish their degree in the 2 years, they then go to level 12, which is a graduate level. Now, I have many apprentices who have done a double jump. So they've not just gone to level 12, they've gone to level 11. And I have had apprentices who then, sometimes within 6 and 12 months are getting more promotions. So I would say the fantastic thing about Accenture and an apprenticeship is that you're learning so much on the job. It's not just your academic training and knowledge, you're putting that into practice, but you're learning so much more in an apprenticeship, because we give people real work experiences from day one. As soon as you finish bootcamp, you're there on the job in front of clients and doing all of that work for real. So I think it gives you so much additional knowledge and experience over just academic study that I see the apprentices sometimes being promoted much faster than grads. So it's a fantastic thing to see.
Perfect. If somebody's not necessarily passionate about technology but are still interested in an opportunity with yourselves, is there anything there?
No, sadly, at the minute we don't really. We're a technology centre. We need software engineers. So the only apprenticeship that we offer is in software engineering. A couple of the apprentices every year, if they have come to us with maths or physics A-level or equivalent qualifications like that, they may be asked if they want to specialise in cybersecurity, because there's not as much software engineering in that degree. But at the minute, no, it's all software engineering. That's what we really need.
Okay, perfect. So that's good, because it's a very clear message, isn't it? And going back to what you said before, the interest at this stage is enough.
Yeah.
And then being able to learn whilst you're on the job, so to speak, is kind of the opportunity, isn't it? And as Israel says, there's lots of support around you to make sure that you get what you need in terms of that learning and development.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Perfect. So Israel, what's the best thing about your job?
Can I say everything? um as of now, I know I'm at home, but as of now, it was being able to go to the office, um, because I felt like I was able to pick up so much more, and learn so much more being part of a team, because that's something I haven't experienced before. Being part of a fully functional team that's working towards a goal of delivering a product, and from home, it's very hard to cohere with someone on the other side of a screen. So yeah, I think working in the office for me has just been great. It's probably the best part of the apprenticeship so far.
Perfect. And a question for both of you. We'll start with Karen. What piece of advice would you give to students and young people considering a career within the industry?
I would say, you've really clearly got to demonstrate that interest in technology, and that could be, doing some self-learning online, just using tools online. I would honestly say that your educational achievements are probably not going to be enough on their own. I mean, they're just not, because there are hundreds of people coming out with the same qualification that you're going to get. So what we really look for is what makes you different. So, somebody who can sit in an interview and pull out their mobile phone and say, oh, I made this wee website for my nana's daughter who's a dog groomer, or whatever, or made this game, or even if you're not that technical, but you have that interest in tech, it's about the other stuff you're doing to develop those other skills, how you work under pressure, how you work in a team, are you a self-developer? Do you continually try to improve? That's the kind of stuff I think everybody in the industry is looking for.
Perfect, thank you. And how about you, Israel? What piece of advice would you give to somebody looking to start out?
It's like Karen said, it's just that initial interest, and then being able to develop that interest in setting yourself apart from everyone else. If I was going by what advice I'd give myself, also another piece of advice is start some self-learning as well, because it's not you're not only developing yourself, but it's something to go on that CV. It's something to do, especially during this time. And I think one thing that we don't take advantage of is like Google and all these search engines that we have nowadays, where all the materials are just is one click away pretty much. And I'm not gonna lie, the support you get on the apprenticeship is great, but it doesn't mean that the hard work you don't put in any hard work yourself. So doing some self-learning will put you ahead massively, massively, especially because some things I've found out while talking to other apprentices is that they don't necessarily understand that you're working and you're doing a degree at the same time, which is hard because I thought A levels were hard. But yeah, you're working on a project, but you're also handling assignments, doing some studying by yourself. So if I were to talk to myself a year ago, I would say learn some Java, learn some Python, learn something that would contribute to what you're going to do next in your next stage of your life. Just keep adding on to yourself and make your life easier for the future. Yeah, and that's the advice I'd give myself.
That's really fantastic advice, Israel. Work hard, get some examples of work that you've done, broaden your kind of skills and knowledge, and just make the most of most of what you're doing at school currently. But add to that, get some experience. That's crucial, isn't it? It's absolutely crucial. Perfect. Well, do you know what? It's been really lovely chatting to you both this morning. Really nice to meet you, Israel, and congratulations on the start of your journey with Accenture and your degree. Yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. If you have got any questions, if you want to put them in the chat at the side, if you kind of need to take that information in and give it some thought, you're going to get an email from me very shortly with the link to this recording if you want to watch it again or share it with the rest of your students. And if you have any questions after that, send them over and I'll get to Karen and Israel and get those back to you. Okay, thanks for joining, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.